Hi, Stamper fans. Welcome to another Make It Monday. I am Nan Gerlitz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Bloomington, Illinois, and I am here live on my Facebook page every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. Welcome. If you are joining live, I'm so happy that you're here. If you are watching the replay, I'm very grateful that you've stopped by. I hope you learned something new. That's kind of my goal every Monday, is to maybe show you a trick you either didn't know or maybe you'd forgotten about, something like that. So I've got some fun new things for you tonight, and I have a really fun announcement. Well, I'm not actually announcing it here. I have an announcement of an announcement. We'll get to that in a little bit. Okay, so welcome so much. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down right away so we can get into stamping and creating, and I will chat along the way. All righty. And there we go. So once again, if you are live, welcome, and go ahead and drop a comment and say hello. Love to see who is stopping by tonight. This is our second live of 2024, so because I actually went live on New Year's Day. Because I had recovered by then. I am one of those people that stays up until midnight on New Year's, and midnight my time, not like East Coast time, and then I go to bed an hour early. I've always been a night owl though, so that's just me. So yeah, so okay. So tonight we are going to be making this card, which is, I've got some fun things to show you, but I also wanted to say congratulations again to Stamper Man for his win over the weekend with his B card. We do love this one. And I wanted to point out a couple of things about his card. First of all, the cool embossed, like they look like flight lines from the bees, right? But it is an actual embossing folder, and I think it really just works beautifully with this set out of the new mini catalog. So the other thing I wanted to point out was he's got like double vellum wings, and the ones in the back he just stamped with memento ink just right on the vellum, and then the ones in the front he actually embossed with black embossing powder. So it stood out a little more, which gives it a real good dimension, I think. A lot of really goods. He's also got kind of a tone on tone with two different reds here. Like a lot went into this card, let me tell you. And I just love these bees, and there's a whole bunch of different expressions you can give them. Actually, I can show you because I can open my catalog now. Not that I couldn't, just show you the stamp set, but yes, the new mini is live, and so this is the stamp set he used, the Be Mine, and it is a bundle. You can get it bundled with the punch that coordinates, which is awesome. So all of that stuff that he's got cut out is actually just punched out. But yeah, you've got some fun kind of puns in there. You're as sweet as honey. You'll always be the one for me. That kind of thing. You make my heart buzz. I love that. We have talked before about how this punch shape is a great speech bubble. So obviously it'll cut out with the stinger, part of the tail, the bee butt. But it is a great speech bubble as well. Lots of different things. I actually saw it used to make a cool flower earlier today, so I saved that idea for some time. Yeah, so great set. And I just wanted to point out those fun little things that the little extra touches he put in. Winner. Okay, so on to my fishy card. So my fishy card is made, well, I will just show you the stamp set because I have that. So my fishy card is made with Planted Paradise. And if you remember, a few weeks ago, I made a snowman with the pots, right? And then this was his hat and everything. And I used one of these as his carrot nose, and had all sorts of fun things going on. So, and then I did also use it actually as plant pots since then. And tonight, fish. Because when I was making the snowman, I was looking at all these shapes and I said, gosh, what else could you make? And the reason I thought of fish was because of this whole idea right here with the plants that kind of looked like kelp and seaweed and whatnot to me. So I thought, oh, I wonder if I could make a fish. So I do have to thank Russ for this because he was brainstorming with me on how I could use this guy and all those kinds of things. So I will show you how I did that. So as always, I have to get this little piece of paper. A piece of paper dropped on my floor, and I don't want to like step back and hit it and go flying, especially not on camera, because I don't need proof of my awkwardness. So as always, the supply list with cardstock measurements is linked in the video description. You can go ahead and click that at any time. The cool thing about that list is not only will it give you the list and you can see the cardstock measurements, but it will also allow you to add whatever you want to your cart. So it'll take you right to my online store, and you can just put everything in your cart, or you can take off the things that you don't need or you already have, and you can add the rest to your cart. It's super, super simple way to shop. So if you'd like to recreate this card, or you like the colors I used, whatever, that's an easy way to do it. Good morning, Joan. I was watching Lucia's video, her live over my lunch hour, and I saw you were on there as well. So it's nice to see you again. So I'm starting off with Lost Lagoon, and this color combination, by the way, came from my email newsletter. Every week I send out an email newsletter, usually on Wednesday mornings, and it's full of everything that's going on in Stampin' Up. Sometimes there's cool technique, sometimes there's just some tips on stamping, things like that. But there's also always a color combination and a sketch layout that I put in every newsletter every week. So they're always different. So this was the color combination from last week's newsletter. So if you do not get my newsletter yet, I highly recommend that you do. We'll be talking about that in a minute, but yeah, this week especially, you'll want my newsletter if you're in the U.S. If you're otherwise around the world, I'm happy to have you on the list as well, but it will mean a little bit less to you this week. Okay. So we're starting off with the Lost Lagoon, and then I've got a little mat of Highland Heather. And now you'll notice here that it's just those edges peeking out. So I went ahead and took my deckled rectangles, and I cut out the center of this so I could use it on another card. And that way it also makes it weigh less when you're going through the mail, and makes it easier kind of to layer up and things like that. So it's a little less bulky. So a nice little tip for you there. And then I've got 2 pieces of basic white. These are the same size. The cardstock measurements in the link are slightly different, and I will adjust that as I'm going. This is exactly how I did it Friday night. So one's for the inside and one is for the front. So let's go ahead and get started on the front. So I built my seaweed layer first. And when this is called the masking technique. So if you are not familiar with that, you're going to learn something new today. But the masking technique, when you're doing it, basically it's so that things appear to be in front of other things, and other things appear to be behind, right? But it's a flat piece of paper. So how do you do that? You want to start with the things that are in the foreground. So everything that's in the front, that's what you're going to stamp first. So that's my leafy guy here. I need to get my ink pads out. So these are the 4 colors we are using tonight. We've got Garden Green, Lost Lagoon, Gorgeous Grape, and Highland Heather. Absolutely love this color combination. Every once in a while when I'm doing my newsletter, I will come across a color combination and I'm like, ooh, I want to use that this week. And this was one of those. I just really liked the feel. And I had no idea what I was going to do with them when I started. But when we came down Friday to stamp, I thought, you know what? That really would lend itself to the plant set. And then I remembered my whole fishy idea. So we're going to start off with these larger ones in Garden Green. And I'm going to kind of, put them on different levels because I don't want them to just be straight across. I want them to be like they're on the seabed, right? So the seabed is definitely not flat. Nobody came in and leveled that. So it's kind of all over. Anybody that's ever walked in the ocean, right, knows that that is not flat. So I actually need to stamp that one more time because when you're doing the masking technique, wow, you need masking paper. So this is a little chunk of Stampin' Up's masking paper. You can also use Post-it notes for this, sticky notes, whatever. The thing about Post-it notes is that you have to make sure that you are stamping it on the sticky end. So like if this is the sticky end, you have to make sure your image is there so it'll stick to the cardstock. But if you use Stampin' Up's masking paper, it is sticky all over. And it has a shinier side, which is kind of hard to see on camera, and then it has more of a matte side. And you do want to stamp on the matte side because that is the side that has the sticky on the back of it. The shiny piece is the backing that you're going to peel off. Okay, so we have stamped our big leaves, and we have stamped on masking paper as well. And then you're just going to fussy cut this. Now, when you're doing masking, I like to cut like right on the line or even right inside the line because it's going to have kind of that edge to it. So when you stamp over it, you won't have that halo effect if you get right on that line. Because if normally when I fussy cut, I kind of leave a border around it, right? But if I were to do that, then the things that are behind this leaf would kind of look like, well, there's this big white space all around it. It would look weird. So I'm going to save that because, I might have another little piece that I want to cut out of the masking paper. I have, for time's sake, pre-cut my other masks. Which one, which one of those is my mask? So the tricky part is getting the backing off. And what I have found is if you kind of fold it back and forth, it'll start to separate. And then you can grab that edge. But it's like a sticker, so it is, it's just, this is how it is, guys. Oh, it was easier Friday night because, of course, now I'm live. So it doesn't want to be easy for me. And I did not even cut my nails, so I'm going to try my take your pick because I did try this as well. Part of my issue is, there we go. I loosened it up. So you just need to peel that backing off and that can get thrown away. And when I'm done with my mask, as long as it's got sticky on it, I'll just leave it inside the stamp case so that I don't have to cut it again next time if I want to do this. So the other thing I'm going to tell you is when you have, whether it's Post-it tape, Post-it notes, masking paper, it's probably a little too sticky right out of the gate. So you want to kind of put it on your clothes and then gently peel it up, because I did rip one Friday night when I did that. But that'll take a little bit of the sticky off so it doesn't rip your cardstock. It's always just better to be safe than sorry. So I'm going to mask a couple of these so I can do a little stamping right in a row. And we're going to grab our Lost Lagoon and our long skinny frond. I don't know. Is it a frond? That's a word, right? Guys are quiet today. All right. So we're going to do those, over these masks that we've done. And again, I'm going to do these at kind of varying heights because I want it to look like they're not all, hanging out at the same place, right? Okay. And then we will gently peel our mask off. And voila, those are now behind. We'll move that over to the other two. So you could obviously, at this point, you could cut 4 of these masks so that you could just mask them all at once. I don't like to spend that much time fussy cutting things that I'm not going to use on the card. So I just do them one at a time. Get some in between, because that's how it would look, right? All right, so we've got quite a bit of seaweedy kind of guys going on. There's my chamois. I got to tell you, I love this stand that I showed you last week that a friend of ours got. So I've just stuck that other stamp there so I don't have to worry about placing it perfectly while I'm live. I can put all that away after I'm done. I don't have to waste your time. So we're going to bring in the garden green back out. And we will grab a small little plant here. Now, I don't want this to be the same color as these front leaves. So I'm going to stamp off on my grid paper. And then I will stamp that on there. And that will give a good illusion that we've got a third color going on. I'll just get a bunch of those in there. And then again, gently remove, so you don't want to rip your leaves. And it is really nice if this is, like if this is a set that I'm going to do a lot of layering like this, and I probably will because I'll be putting them in the pots and things like that. I will probably keep these masks as long as they've got sticky on them. I will use them, and I'll just keep them right in the case so they're ready to go whenever I'm ready to go. We'll pop one back there just to give that white space a little less white space. And one right there. Okay. And that is how we're making our seabed. And I actually used my silicone mat for these because glue and stuff does not stick to your silicone mat. So it's the perfect place to hold your masks while you're using them. And that way you're not mucking up your grid paper or anything like that. So we do still have some white space down there. And Friday night I grabbed some Stampin' Blends and kind of put a little Lost Lagoon down there. Tonight, I thought what I would do is I would take the pad directly to here. Oh, that's very dark. So that was a very different look. I did not think about that, but there we go. It's a different look tonight. Alrighty, so that is how we made our little seabed with the masking technique. And now our fish. Our fish is so fun. I was very excited when I figured this out, and it's super easy to stamp these. We are going to take a long block. This is block H. And these stamps, I had pointed out the last time I used them, are reversible. So this leaf has all these lines in it, but if you just flip it over, it's flat. So you'll just get a flat image. So we're going to put this on our block, and then we're going to take this kind of short fat leaf and flip it over so it's solid, and we're going to butt that right up against that other little leaf. And there is our fish. Super, super fun. I take my gorgeous grape. It's good and inked up. So one's around there, let's say. Oh, love it. And one is swimming this way. We'll have his tail go off the edge. That's a good look. It's always nice when you're stamping something a little more collagey, especially that you have something kind of out of frame. It looks more pleasing to the eye, I think. It's a design element, I've learned some things by just mostly observing over the years about what looks better. Instead of having everything be centered and symmetrical, it's more pleasing to the eye to have things a little off kilter. Okay, I did, however, grab my Highland Heather Stampin' Blends because if you see, there's a little gap between his body and his tail fin. So I just kind of dotted that. And then they're all joined. Looks fine. All right, the other part of this guy is this little leaf that we are going to use to make is it a dorsal fin? I'm not sure. Make sure you put it so the solid side is up. The nice part about these reversible stamps is that you can, say, stamp that and then in a lighter color and then flip it over for the detail and stamp it perhaps in a darker color over the top. And you get kind of a different look. But, you know, we're making fishies. There we go. I love my little fish. All right, get my stamps off of this block because I'm going to need it in a minute. Couple more things to stamp because this set has, so let me show you from the mini catalog. So this stamp set has this cool little circle in it, and it's meant to be a plant hanger kind of ring, right? But we're using it as bubbles. Because I figured they're, you know, talking to each other, right? So they'd have some little air bubbles. And this guy's is going to come up this way. Oops. Oh, nice lining up. Love it when it works. One last bit of stamping. We're going to bring in that Highland Heather ink for our greeting. Our greeting comes from Layering Leaves. I absolutely love the fonts in this set. It's really nice to have a good versatile set with a bunch of different greetings in fonts that you love because you will want to use them more and more. And hello is a great one to have in your arsenal because it'll work for anything. If you're making a birthday card, oh, thanks, Shelley. If you're making a birthday card and you don't have a birthday greeting, you could just put hello on the front and on the inside, right, you know, happy birthday, right? Hello works for everything. It's a wonderful word. Okay, so we're going to line that up so it is straight. And just in this little spot between those seaweed leaves. There we go. And that is all of our stamping. So now we can layer it on up. Oh, but first, remember I told you this piece was just a little bit too big. So Russ and I always have 5 1/4 by 4-inch white pieces and vanilla pieces pre-cut because that's the most common layer. So, but I needed another layer outside of that. So I'm just going to take 1/8 of an inch off of 2 of these sides. And I'm going to take it off the bottom because I don't like how dark I made that. So that is the measurement that's actually on the link. Is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And that's how you get there. You just take 1/8 of an inch off your basic one. Okay. Let's pop some adhesive on this. I'm going to grab my silicone mat, turn it over, just in case that adhesive is inside this frame. That way I know it will not stick to my grid paper because I've got my mat down. And then this guy, I am going to pop up on dimensionals. So I did mention earlier that you definitely want to be on my email list if you are in the US, because I have a surprise announcement coming out this week. So on Wednesday's email, it is an offer that I'm putting out to my email list subscribers first. So if all the things that I've got are gone from my email subscribers, then that will be that, and nobody else will have a chance to get them. So you definitely want to be on my email list if you are in the US, and you can have some fun stuff deciding. Very cryptic, right? So, but I can't say anymore because it's first for my email list. So I'm going to take some Wink Estella and color in the inside of these bubbles, because they would be all sparkly, right? Sure. And then our fish look a little silly without eyeballs. So I grabbed my iridescent pearls because I just love these. I thought they would be super pretty for our little fish eyes. And I was right. And they pick up the purple. Super fun. But we have one more thing, because I also decided there was too much white space. So I'm going to take the light one for this one. I used the dark one, I believe, the other night. Thank you, Jill. I took my Stampin' Blends, and I see this done, and I keep forgetting about it. So here's a little tip if this is something you haven't tried. You take your brush tip and very gently flick it against the inside of the cap. And it will basically, I'm going to get a little closer, and it will leave splatters all over your card, which again will add a little bit of texture, right? A little bit of dimension. And there we go. Because they're flying around in the sea, swimming around. There's going to be stuff in the water. So there is my fun little card using Planted Paradise in a completely different way again. You can tell this is fast becoming one of my favorite stamp sets. It is super, super versatile. No words in it, but that means I can just use words whatever I want. So that works out well. Couple of reminders for you. And these links are all in the video description as well. So we are coming up on deadline for this month's Paper Pumpkin. That's Wednesday. The deadline is the 10th. So make sure you are subscribed, and that link is in the video description. We've also got 2 new cute kits that got released last week, the Rock Legend kit and the Panda Friends kit. And these are super fun, especially if you are a new crafter, because there's no stamping involved. The sentiments on these are all pre-printed, so it's just an assembly. It's kind of a get your feet wet, see if you like card making, right? So super fun. Also make great gifts because, again, no stamping, easy instructions, totally awesome. Absolutely love the Rock Legend kit, and the panda's super cute too. So kind of something for everyone there, right? Let's see. I also wanted to pop that. So I've popped the link to sign up for my newsletter into the comments as well. So if you didn't see it in all the links in the video description, I've popped a separate one into the comments so it's easier for you to see. Let me pop back up here. Hello, friends. Yes, I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to tell you about. Yes, one more thing. So Celebration is going on right now as well. Super, super fun time of the year. I absolutely love Celebration. And actually, this fun guy, there we are. That one's on its way to me right now. Because Russ and I love cute critters. So that is a freebie that we got. Celebration is great because there's 3 ways for you to participate. 1, shop. buy craft supplies. How fun is that? Like you were going to do that anyway. So for every $50 that you purchase, you can pick out a free item from the Celebration brochure. There are also items in there for 100 levels. So if you order $100 worth of stuff, you can pick out one of those as well. The second way to do it is to host, and host means a couple different things. So you can have a party in person or online, and if once your party hits the qualifying level, you're going to almost double the freebies that you get this month and next month. Or you can just place your own order, your personal order. If you have a $300 personal order, or maybe just a couple of friends and you get together and pool your money, you will still double your rewards. So instead of getting $36, you'll get $66 in free stuff for that. So really awesome deal there. The last one is joining Stampin' Up. And I know some of you are like, oh, back off, lady. So we have people join Stampin' Up for a lot of different reasons. Many people join just for the discount. It is very easy to get 20% or more discount on your personal orders with Stampin' Up. I have several people on my team that do that. A lot of people join for the community, and that's one of the reasons why I stay, I think. Absolutely love the community. Stampers are the best people. They really are. It's very rare that I come across a not nice stamper. I think maybe two in my whole time. And it's not necessarily even that they're not nice. It's more like maybe they were cranky. So, but stampers really are just lovely, lovely people. And we have an event coming up in March on stage in Houston. So drivable for probably a lot of people. I'll be flying, but if you sign up this month, the deadline to sign up for that event is the end of January. So if you were to hop on board the Stampin' Up family, you could join me in Houston. So that's always a fun time. You get to see new products early. You get to do a lot of stamping. You get to have fun. You dance along to the intro music. We always have a good time at events. So, and some other people join because they want to share it with others. Now, whether that's you just have a group of close friends that you like to craft with, or maybe it's, hey, I want to go out and do classes and parties and things. Whatever level you want to join at, it's perfectly great. And Celebration is a fabulous time to join because you get more for your buck, right? The starter kit is pretty much always $99, and you get $125 worth of product for that. Your choice, whatever you want that's current. But during Celebration, you can pick between two offers. One is you can get even $30 more in free product. Or you can get this cool thing called the Stampin' Glass Studio. And it's a great heat-resistant, scratch-resistant, tempered glass mat. And it's got a silicone mat to go with it. Lots of cool things. You can see it all online. You can click that click the link in the video description to find some details about that as well. All right, that's all my rambling for tonight. I hope you learned something new, and if you did, feel free to share the video so that your friends and family can learn those tips as well. And I hope you'll try some of the things I showed you tonight. Till next week, I'm still Nan Gerlitz. Happy stamping.